This is a 1963 Ford Thunderbird. It's got taillights that look like jet engines. It has chrome all the way down the car. You'll see it has 4 headlights, 2 low beam, 2 high beam. And this one right here, if you look closely, you'll see it is an original T3 light made by Guide. Now, I'm pretty sure that GM used these lights in their cars in the 1960s and really up until, I want to say, the 1980s. I don't know if they ever came in Fords, but regardless, this is a very old headlight bulb. This is actually a real hood scoop that goes into the air cleaner. You can see right here there's a vent in the hood, and then down here there's an opening in the air cleaner, which is obviously labeled front so you don't put it backwards and lose all the effectiveness of the actual hood scoop. It's got the name of the car on the engine. We have a bag full of washer fluid. That's right, a bag. Down here, we got power brakes. We got a single reservoir master cylinder with a switch built into it. This is actually the brake switch, so this is the thing that actually makes the taillights turn on. Built right into the master cylinder. Clever, right? The bad news is if you break a brake line, all the fluid will leave this and you'll have no brakes at all. These 390 engines were pretty weird because the cylinder head has exhaust manifolds that bolt through the manifold and through these ears on the cylinder head. And what happens a lot on these 390s is this ear will break off the cylinder head, and that way you cannot attach a manifold to it without having the cylinder head either welded back together or replaced. And that's why you always want to use a lot of heat and a lot of lubricant to get these bolts out, or else you risk snapping the ear off the cylinder head, which makes for a real bad day. The door handles on these things are super cool because it's essentially grabbing the trim right on the door to pop it open. Pretty rad, right? Built right into the door. No door handle, just trim. Like all cars of this generation, you'll find down here next to the brake pedal a headlight dimmer switch, which goes up and down and turns on and off your high beams. Inside the car is a feature that almost no other car has. All you do is push up this shifter lever, and the whole column slides over to the right, and that allows you to get inside the vehicle a little easier. And if you're sitting in the car now, you can see the steering wheel is crooked. That's because down here, you see the whole mechanism? The whole thing slides right over. Let's move it back. One more time for fun. The key for the ignition is on the left side of the steering column, right here. Guess what this is? It's a manual remote mirror. Personally, I think the door panels in this thing are pretty cool. You got the red light on the bottom, the white light on the bottom, then you have this like textured middle panel. I'm not sure if that's aluminum or some sort of plastic. It feels like really thin aluminum to me. Right here's the door handle to actually open the door, and then this is the handle to crank the window up. And then of course you got the little wing window here, which you can pop open and get a little breeze while you're driving. Unfortunately, no AC. This car is a unibody. That's right, there's no frame. Leaf springs in the back. Pretty weird. The springs sit on top of the control arms. You can't talk about old Thunderbirds without talking about the back seat, am I right? You'll notice it's sort of curved. Sometimes you'll even see them used as front seats in hot rods. It has awesome wipers that are mounted on the outer edges of the windshield. I think I better turn them on for you so you can see how cool they are. The 61 to 63 Thunderbirds are called bullet nose Thunderbirds because the front looks like a bullet. They're all really cool. They made a lot of these things. I think in 63 they made something like 60,000 of them. Most of them were hardtops like this one. They also came with convertibles and Landau tops. Under the hood, you got a 390 cubic inch engine that makes 300 horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. So although it makes muscle car numbers, it's not a muscle car, and it often flies under the radar, and these things are actually pretty cheap in the market. It's got a great interior, it's got plenty of power, it's just an awesome cruiser. Plus you can slam them to the ground, and they look dope as heck. If you like videos like this one, or you just like Thunderbirds, leave me a comment below. And be sure to subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Instagram. So, I guess that's it for this one. We'll see you next time.